Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Caroline with 10 Tiny Toes Yoga. So if you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you. Please subscribe for new classes coming out each and every Monday. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So today's flow, you could use 2 blocks for, which is why I have these in my hand. But today's flow is an excellent flow to do. It's so yummy for your legs. So if you're getting those Charlie horses at night, or your legs are just getting really tired, or you happen to have a job or anything in life that makes you do a lot of sitting, where you have those tight hamstrings, today's class is going to be perfect for you to stretch those out, which is just going to help you to get into an optimal position to push during delivery, but also just to feel great. So grab a stretchy pants, grab 2 blocks. If you have them, it's okay if you don't. And let's get flowing. Okay, so for today's class, we're going to get started standing. So we're just going to get right on into it today. So before we get into any big movements, warming up these large muscle groups, we're going to take a moment just to really look at our posture, look at our spinal alignment, to help us to avoid any other issues that might come up with our balance and with our posture. So coming to your mat, I want you just to start rocking back and forth on your feet, just really starting to feel that foundation, becoming strong and firm, picking up your toes, placing them back down, rocking onto your heels, and then coming to a spot of stillness where your legs are wide enough so that you feel like you have a good base. As we get more and more pregnant, our posture, our stance gets wider and wider. And then we have to consciously think about pulling in that posture as we get out of our pregnancies. But with your hands on your hips now, I want you to soften your knees. We're not locking them out. And I want you to think about rotating your hips under. So you're shortening that distance between the top of your hips and your bottom ribs. You hear the expression a lot of knitting your ribs together. So it's just creating this strong core, but it's protecting your back from any of that lordosis where you over-exaggerate that curve. So just thinking about pointing your tailbone down, flattening your back against the wall behind you, imaginary wall. Opening up your shoulders broad through the chest. It feels a little goofy here, but it's just going to give you some good release on your back. And we're going to slowly close our eyes and just get into our breath. Connect with our moment right now, and to let go of every other thought, every other moment that we've had today. So closing your eyes with me, you can sway. I've had 2 babies, so I'm like the swayer for life. But just closing out your day, starting to feel the air on your skin, starting to really see some space in your head, pushing all of those thoughts out. As you take that deep breath in through your nose or through your mouth right now, feel that cool air. Imagine it going down into your lungs, opening them up. And as you exhale, think about pushing all of that air out so that you can immediately just pull in another super fresh breath. So in this moment, continuing to feel all of those things around you, just being present here. Feel your feet down on that mat. Feel the strength of that connection, of that foundation. And start to imagine your baby just kind of swaying around inside of you right now. Just finding that comfort. Don't let any other moment exist for this moment. Let everything else go. And let's just start to meditate and to get into our flow and connect with our body today. So beginning with this flow right now, you can continue your legs with that slight movement, or you can keep them locked out. Not locked out, but straight. I want you to take a deep inhale in through your nose. And as you exhale, drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Exhale, dropping your chin into your chest. Inhale, rolling over to the other side. One more time each way. So exhale, dropping your chin into your chest. Inhaling over to the right. Exhaling down through center. Inhaling over to the left. And drop your chin down that last time just to lift your head up to neutral. And let's start to open up our shoulders and our upper body. So hands are down by your side. Fingers are spread wide. You're shooting out energy through your fingertips. On an inhale, scoop your arms around and up to the sky. Feel this stretch along your front body. And then exhale, hands come down through your heart center, really pushing your palms into each other, activating those shoulders. 2 more times. Inhale, circle your arms around and up to the sky. Exhale your hands down through center. 1 more. Inhale your arms around and up to the sky. Hold it up here. Interlace your left hand around your right wrist and lean a little bit over to the left, pulling yourself up, just feeling that stretch, opening up those ribs. And then inhale, coming back through middle, switch out your grip. Exhale, lean it over to the right. Again, this isn't a side bend. You're just lifting and opening up through your side body, through your rib cage. Inhale, open up back to the sky. Release your hands. Exhale your arms down and around. Interlace your fingers behind your back, making a fist. And then on your inhale, let your shoulder tips roll back. You can lift your throat up to the sky. And imagine you're just letting your heart shine forward. Now dropping your chin into your chest, that can kind of get you a little lightheaded. So go really slow now, releasing your hands. Inhale, bring your arms out in front of you now, interlacing those fingers again. Push your palms of your hand out. Tuck your chin into your chest. Arch your back towards the wall behind you. Your knees are soft. You're in a little standing cat and cow here. And then inhale, keeping your arms just as they are. Circle them up to the sky. And exhale, release your arms around and down. We are getting right into it with our little bit of squats. So I want you to inhale, sweep your arms forward in front of you for that balance. And then exhale, sit your hips back like you're going to sit in a chair. So if you look down at your knees right now, you can see your toes. You want to make sure you're pushing your knees back so that your ankles are below your knees. And then inhale, pushing it back up. So let's continue with that. Inhale, reach your arms forward as you sit back. Arms are there for our balance. Exhale, squeeze down through your heels. Hands come into a fist as you pushing them back, strengthening our upper back. We're working 2 things at the same time. Inhale, scoop it back. Exhale, squeeze and lift. These compound movements are really good for your body. Exhale. Inhale, I did that wrong, you know that. Inhale and scoop it back. Exhale, pull it forward. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Now, if you need to step wider to accommodate your belly, by all means, if you can't go down as low as I'm going, you respect where your body is at today. Last one, hands come out. Scoop it in and release. Hands are down by your side. Hands come to your hips right now, and we're just going to do some old school hip circles. So, starting to really loosen up the ligaments around your hips, around your pelvis, getting into your inner thighs. We're about to start a little side lunge series, so I just want to make sure that we're feeling a little bit looser. And then switch, going back the opposite direction. Big old hip circles, as wide as you feel comfortable doing. I have another video coming out soon, which will be done on a stability ball, which I highly recommend you get during your pregnancy, because you really use it a lot afterwards. And hip circles are a big part of that. So let's finish up this last one. Perfect. All right. So your hands are on your hips. Now the sequence here, in case you are itching to find out, you could wait a second, but it's going to be squat, side lunge, squat, side lunge. So we're just going to keep going back and forth, starting to really get into the inner thigh and the outer glute on each leg. So your hands can be out again out front for stability. So inhale, scoot back. Exhale, pull it up. Step your right leg out. Sit your hips back. So notice right now at your posture, your left leg is straight. Your right knee is bent directly below you, and you're shooting your hips back to the wall behind you. And then coming on back up. Squat in the middle. Inhale up. Left leg comes out. Squatting back. So right leg is straight. I'm pushing my hips back like I'm still sitting in that chair. And my knee isn't past my ankle. Squeeze back up towards the middle. And let's keep going. So squat. Up. Lunge. Together. I know you're thinking, is this yoga or is this a class of squats? And we are getting into the yoga. There are not that many more squats. But you can do this. This is such a good strength exercise to help you really protect that low back during your pregnancy. And squat. You have got this. Let's do it. One more to each side. Squat. Together. Lunge. Together. So I'm intentionally using these huge muscle groups at the beginning of our class just to get our heart rate up so our blood is pumping. All right, so staying right here, close your eyes. You can sway a little bit side to side. Get that breath. Calm your heart rate down. Be really intentional about your breathing. So slow inhales in through your nose, and then slow exhales out. Let's do that one more time. Inhale in. Exhale out. All right. So coming back to your mat, I want you to step even wider on this one. So we're going to start really getting into our legs. Now you notice I said at the beginning of the class to have blocks. So if you have blocks, or if you even have a chair, you could use that. You're going to place it at the end of your mat. My two blocks are right here by my side. So we're going to start with a little prayer squat. So my heels are in, my toes are out. I'm going to inhale, circle my arms around and up to the sky. And as I exhale, squat down towards the floor. Your knees are going wide. You're trying to open up your knees to the pinky toes of either foot. And then inhale, straighten out your arms, straighten out your legs. Let's do that 2 more times. Come on down, squat, knees go wide. Inhale, open up. Exhale, squat it down. Inhale, come on up. Hands come to your hips. Turn your right foot forward. Turn your left toes to the left side of the mat. So we're coming into a triangle pose. So you have 2 straight legs. Open up your arms to either side. You're going to inhale, lean as far as you can over to the left. Both of my legs remain straight. When you can't lean anymore, you're just going to drop your hand down to your shin. You can go to the mat. If you have your block right here, you can use your block. But staying here in this triangle pose, think about pulling your shoulders away from your ears. Think about the stretch happening on the outside of your right glute, inner thigh of your left leg. We're doing a lot of opening up here. This is such a good way to help your legs relax, just to release that lactic acid before you go to sleep if you are having any of those Charlie horse issues at night. If your balance is a little wobbly, make sure you can have your back against a wall or keep your gaze down towards the floor. If you feel like you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can start to lift your gaze up towards your right fingertips. Okay, on your next inhale, we're going to slowly come on back up. Now we're going to turn our back foot as well to face the left side of our mat. So you might want to shorten your stance. We're going into a pyramid pose. So all 10 toes are going in the same direction. Your heels are both down on the mat. Hands on your hips. Inhale. Lift your throat up to the sky. And as you exhale, start to hinge at your hips, coming forward until you come in down to a flat back. Now, you can stay right here. Now we're really bringing the stretch all behind that left leg and in the right calf muscle. If you have your blocks nearby, you can put them on either side of your front foot just for balance. And stay here for a couple more breaths. See if you can, with your back straight, start to lower baby down closer to your thigh. So you're not trying to crunch and get this curl here. You're really trying to keep your back straight and strong. So we're building up back muscle at the same time. Now to get out of this, just bring your hands back up to your hips. Lift your torso back up to parallel. And then you can grab your blocks and we're going to go to the other side. So you can get yourself set up on that other side of your mat. Hands come back to your hips. Parallel your left foot to the back of your mat. Point your right foot towards the right end. Triangle pose. So arms come out to either side. Bump your hips back a little bit. Just feel that stretch on your right inner thigh already. Lean forward when you can't lean anymore. Drop your hand to your shin or to your mat. Just try not to rest it on the joint of your knee. So again, with these two straight legs, you're feeling this stretch all along the outer edge of your left lower back now. Inner right thigh. If your balance is a little wobbly, keep your gaze down on the floor. And again, if you feel like challenging it, you can lift your gaze up towards your left fingertips. So staying here for one more breath. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Inhale. Slowly pull your torso back up. Turn to face the right side of your mat. You can shorten the distance of your stance if that helps for you. Hands come to your hips. Inhale if you want to do a little, not back bend, but a reach up right here. And then starting to hinge forward, come on down to your blocks. We are in our pyramid pose on the other side. So again, if you need to shorten your stance, that makes this pose more accessible. If you have more flexibility or more space in that area, you can try to take your feet a little bit wider apart. And again, think about flexing your back up, not letting it curl down. You're really trying to build that back strength. Inhale for one more breath. And then again, hands come to your hips. Inhale, pulling yourself back up. Come back to the middle of your mat. And we're going to reset with 3 more of those prayer squats. So you can leave your blocks right there. We'll just start on that side next. So inhale, circle your arms up to the sky. Hands meet in prayer. Exhale, down into your prayer squat. Knees go wide. You might have to step your feet out a little bit further just to protect the integrity of that joint. Inhale, squeeze down through your heels, your inner thighs. Exhale, squat down. Inhale and open. Last one. Exhale, squat down. Perfect. Inhale, come on up. Hands come down to your hips. Now we'll just start at the back of our mat again. So this time we're coming into a warrior one pose. So you're really going to turn all the way around now. Your hips are facing the closed end of your mat. Your right foot is forward. The back of your left foot is down. You really want to think about really finding that foundation on that pinky edge side of your foot. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. And then exhale, sink in to your right leg. So this is automatically going to bring a huge stretch to your left calf muscle, lifting your chest up. You should feel a good stretch through your hip flexors, through that round ligament. And then we are going to go into a warrior three. So bringing your hands down to your heart center, picking up your left heel, come on up to standing on your right leg. Now from here you can stay up. This is you in the posture. Any form of the pose is the pose. You are in it and you can just explore your depths every time. So if you want to lower your torso a little bit more down to the ground and squeeze this left glute to lift your left foot up, you can give that a shot. Now, lowering your left toes back down to the mat. Take your blocks and bring them out a little bit in front of your right foot. We're coming up into half moon, so we're going to start on this slow. So hands are on that block. If you have a chair, you can rest your hands in the chair. Start to squeeze that left glute to lift your left leg up off of the ground. And then see if you can open up your left hip, stacking it over your right, and turn your torso, your body, to the left. I am even wobbly too. Staying here for one more breath. And then to come out of it, not as graceful as I did. Okay, hold on. Let me do that over. Why is this so hard? And then to come out of it, just bring your left foot down by your right. You can reposition your feet, bend your knees, interlace your arms at the elbows, and just give a little sway here in your ragdoll. So just calming everything down. And then bending your knees slowly, slowly, slowly. Roll yourself up halfway. Hands are on your knees until you feel like that blood has balanced back in your body. And then squeezing down through your heels, roll all the way up. You can squat down, grab those blocks, protecting your low back, and place them at the other end of your mat. And here we go to the opposite side. So we'll just do one prayer squat on this transition here. Heels are in, toes are out. Inhale your arms around and up to the sky. Exhale, squat it down. Perfect. Inhale, coming on up, hands circle around and down to your waist. And now let's turn to the left side of our mat, setting up for warrior one. So remember, your left toes are pointing directly to the left end of your mat. Your right foot is at an angle. You are really pushing down through your pinky toe blade side of your foot. Heels are facing the back of your mat. Inhale, circle both arms up to the sky. Exhale, warrior one. So sinking down into it. My knee is not going past my ankle. It should be stacked above. I'm getting this stretch through the front of my body, through the front of my right quad. Inhale. And then exhale, warrior three. So hands are coming down to your heart center. Lean into that left leg. Pick your right toes up. Any form of the posture is the pose, is the posture. So you can stay here, or you can see if you want to open up those hamstrings a little bit more, bending any more forward. Slowly lower those toes back down to the mat. Hands come to your blocks. Squeeze your right glute to lift your right leg, and then slowly stacking your right hip on your left, opening up to a half moon. It's okay if you wobble a little bit. Just make sure you're not going past your point of comfort. And then again, to get out of it, lower your right foot down towards your left. Bend your knees, interlace your arms. You can walk your feet out just to open up that low back a little bit more. Hands come to your knees. Sit your tush back like you're going into a chair pose, just letting your blood pressure even out again. And then slowly squeeze on up. All right, so let's come on down to our mat now. So we have been doing a lot with our back, opening it up, flexing it. So we're going to come right on down into a child's pose. So take your knees wide, bring your big toes to touch. Sit your hips back towards your heels and slowly start to walk your arms forward. So bringing your forehead down to the mat, making sure you have ample space for your belly, for your baby, and start to really allow your hips and your low back to release. If you can't get down all the way to the mat, you can stack your fists and place them under your forehead. You could get a stability ball and rest on that. You could even get your blocks and just allow your head to rest. Staying here for 1 or 2 more breaths, calming your breath down, calming your heart down, feeling proud of all of this stretching that you are doing right now. And then slowly we're going to push ourselves back up to table position. So pushing up onto all fours, you're going to be on your knees. You can walk them in a little bit closer. You can bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Going to do 2 rounds of cat and cow here. So on an inhale, you're going to allow your throat to open, your glutes to lift. And then exhale, hug baby up into your spine as you tuck your hips under, pushing the mat away, tucking your chin in. Inhale and open. Exhale and tuck. Perfect. Inhale, coming back towards the front. We're going to take our right leg, extend your right leg back, your toes are tucked under. And again, we're going for that calf stretch. We want to ensure that you get a good night's rest as far as the comfort of your legs go. So just rocking back and forth on your toes here. And then coming to stillness, we're going to go into a gate pose, kind of with a child's pose. So you can bring your foot off to the side, but just so you can see what I'm going to do, and it's a way you can get into it as well. From this position, I'm just going to walk my hands over to the right off of my mat, and I'm going to bring my left foot around to the side. So from here, my left toes are tucked under, my right foot is an extension out of my right hip. Push your hips back towards your heels. So you're going to feel this absolute amazing stretch. Baby's got all of this space. They're off of your hips, off of your thigh. Take another inhale in. Allow yourself to sink into this posture. And then inhale, coming back up. Once again, we're going to walk back to the front of our mat. And you're going to take your right heel now and you're going to cross it over to the left side. So we're coming into a pigeon pose. So from here, you're stepping your hips back. Your right leg is coming directly out behind you. If you have a very tight hip or there's any sort of tension in your knee, take your block and place it underneath your glute on your left leg, and that takes all of the pressure out of your knee. And then from here, see how far you can just walk yourself down. So again, everyone's going to be at different layers of comfort. It's also very highly dependent on where baby is that day. Sometimes they get like camped out over a hip. But just finding your comfort here, allowing that hip, that glute to open. You can come all the way down if that feels comfortable and if you have space. And then let's switch to the other side. So slowly walking your hands back up under your shoulders. If you have the block under your glute, bring it back out in front. Slide that left leg back into your tabletop position. And now let's open up our left leg. It's going to feel good after that compression. So extend your left leg back behind you. Your toes are tucked under. And you can rock back and forth, going into that little stretch. Have an awareness of your jaw and your shoulders. If you're hunched in, try not to cave in there. Push the mat away from you. Be strong. And then let's go into your gate child's pose on the other side. So walking your hands over to the left, right toes open up, left leg is an extension of my left hip. I'm pushing my hips back towards my heels. Baby is off to the inside. And I'm sinking back into this half child's pose, really feeling an amazing opening happening again, all along that left leg. Take another inhale in here. And then slowly coming on back up, pushing your torso up, walk your hands back to the front of your mat. Now allow your right toes to come to the left side and slowly slide your left leg back, coming into a pigeon pose on the other side. And again, if this is too tight or you just feel like you need some more space there, please take a block, blanket, anything. Place it under that hip. Instantly, you're going to feel all of the pressure out of this knee. And then baby off to the side again, slowly walking your torso down to wherever your comfort level is. Feeling this release here, allowing this opening. Try not to hold on to it. Try not to push away. Allow your body to traction down just with the gravity. Feels really good. So staying here for one more breath. Good job. And then let's slowly walk ourselves on out of this again. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Push your right leg back. You can release that block out in front of you again. Coming back into child's pose one more time, not for very long, but just to reset and even out our backs. Knees are wide, big toes come to touch. Push your hips back. Walk your hands forward if that feels good to you. Allowing your forehead to rest somewhere just to take the pressure out of your neck. And then slowly walk yourselves back up. I said it wasn't going to be long. I'm sorry. I always feel bad in my class when I can tell my moms are like, and I'm like, we got to keep moving. I would leave you in Shavasana all day if I thought it would be helpful, but you got to do some more stuff. All right. So coming back now to sitting on your tush, your feet are out in front of you. Extend your right leg long. Pull your left heel in towards your inner right thigh. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Flex those right toes up. And then exhale, just lean forward to where you feel it. If your toes are flexed up, you're going to feel this stretch from the very base of your heel all the way up to your back. Again, baby is off to the side. We're not ramming down onto our thigh. Make sure we're very conscious of our space. And then inhale, coming on up. Slide that right leg through. If you can take your right foot over the left leg, or you can just leave your right leg out in front of you. And we're going into an open twist. So we are twisting away from our right leg. We're twisting to the left. So you can put your elbow on your right knee. Your left hand can come behind you. And just open up a little twist here. Just bringing some health and some openness into that low back. And then release. Switch it out. Left leg extends long. Right foot comes to the inside of your left thigh. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Flex those left toes up. Exhale, forward fold to wherever your comfort level is. Really work on flexing these toes, pulling it up, opening up your legs. And then inhale, coming on up. Bend your left knee, placing your foot on the floor. Maybe your right leg snakes over a little bit more. Left elbow comes to the inside of your left knee. Right hand is behind you. And enjoy a little twist. Perfect. And now release. So finally, the moment has come for our little reclined here. So lots of options for your Shavasana. If you have your blocks nearby, you can come into a reclined butterfly just by using whatever you have available. If you have a bolster, great. If not, it can be done with literally anything. So coming on down, you would just stack your blocks like so and lower down, and you could hang out here in this reclined posture. If you do not have those, do not worry. You can come all the way down. You will probably lie on your left side, but since I'm already here, I'm going to lay on my right side. And it is fine if your right side is your comfortable side to lay on. I know we have the Vina Cava and everyone is worried, but you can do it for a little bit if it's comfortable for you. I know my left hip got so sore during my first pregnancy because I was petrified about laying on my right side. And then my doctor said, I've never had a baby die from a mom laying on her left side, or her right side. And I was like, okay, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. But it's good just not to be on your back. So laying on a side, if it feels good, you can take a block, place it between your knees. It's just going to take some of that pressure off of your hip. And coming into your Shavasana, we are finally there. You have done all of the stretching that I was hoping for our class today. Making sure that after our class today, you do drink plenty of water just to help to flush everything out. So I said that you're not going to be waking up all night from Charlie horses, but you're still going to be waking up to go to the bathroom every 10 minutes. You're welcome. You'll get through this, Mom. All right. So staying down into your Shavasana. Enjoying these moments, just you and your baby. Please remember to talk positively to yourself, to share kind words to yourself, and to send all of that love down to your baby so that they just feel all that positivity within you. And that they start smiling in that womb already, because everybody loves a baby smile. So I will leave you here to enjoy this Shavasana as long as you can. Again, my name is Caroline. Please subscribe. Please share with a pregnant mom if you enjoy our classes. And if you have any requests for any future classes, please comment below. We love feedback. So I'm honored that you shared your practice with me today. I hope you have an amazing feeling going on. And at the end of every class, just would like to leave you with the blessing of going forth. Just let there be peace and love in your thoughts, peace and love in your words, and peace and love in your heart. From my heart to yours, in that little one beating fiercely inside your chest. Namaste.